Well, everything's made up.
And the points don't matter.
Hey,
Eh,
love that show.
It's mandatory.
Loving it or the show?
Yes.
All right.
Should do that. I should do that.
Crack a beer.
Oh wait,
Don't
I should do that again. Let's
don't-
rephrase it.
don't crack that bottle.
How do you know? I just got a pile over here off camera.
Dennis and his famous pile of broken beer
Cans
bottles.
and broken glass. Once a month, my girlfriend just sweeps it out.
Everyone just lives with broken pieces of glass under their feet. It's fine. It's fine.
There's nothing over there. It's fine.
Broken glass and feet are not things you want to introduce to each other. It's the worst.
I've actually had to deal with that twice in the past month and a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, not fun. And it wasn't cool like all like I'm gonna go into a building and kill a bunch of terrorists. It was more like, ow, my foot in the middle of the hallway and then like falling over.
it took me a second to catch up to that Die Hard reference, if I'm being honest. But the Zwilling glasses that me and Dennis both have, the like, hollow that are insulated, when those things explode, it's just needles.
You've exploded them?
One or two.
That's not great. That's less than great. Almost by definition.
I watched Dennis bounce one off the floor, and then I knocked one off the top of my computer. Empty, of course.
Of course.
And, well, I'm not going to put it on top of my computer with things in it. That's dangerous.
It's good for problems.
What? Paul making poor choices? Come on. Never.
Learn from my mistakes. I've made that mistake in the past. I've seen a person end up with pudding in their computer. Yeah.
See, all of a sudden, my pile of broken bottles doesn't seem so bad.
No, it still seems pretty bad.
He cleaned the pudding up and the computer worked.
It's funny.
They shorted it out. Somebody else knocked a pudding cup off of his desk and it fell into his computer.
It's impressive the amount of abuse and neglect and damage that some computers can withstand. Yeah. Also, equally impressive how one time a static shock could fry your entire goddamn system.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a crapshoot.
Yeah.
CPM, Ben, thanks for joining us. Cheers. Cheers.
Heidi ho.
Hey, look.
Cheers. I may be double fisting a little bit tonight.
Oh,
and I'm drinking two things.
Thanks.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Starting off on the right foot.
I mean, I guess.
Stanton, Dick Richards, cheers. Ben's calling, I think, me and Joe nerds. I assume me and Joe.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah.
He doesn't even say hi to me, so that sounds about right too. Yeah.
He's become your Mr. Fisk, hasn't he?
Well, except we actually know each other personally.
There is that.
So good to have words face to face every once in a while. It changes things, right? So
I'm looking that knife up, CPM. I'm curious.
Yeah, what is everyone carrying tonight?
I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that knife name.
Ooh.
CPM's buying things on the black market, though. What the fuck?
See if I can get that on screen though. That's not the worst looking thing in the world. That looks like
No?
they come in a variety of different flavors. All right.
I dig it.
Very nice, very nice. And yeah, Ben, mad respect back, man. I love what you do. It's a good time every time we ever get to hang out together. So yeah, mutual. But also, I will also give you a hard time week to
I'm gonna
week
be honest.
when I can.
I didn't read Slag. I read Shag at
Oh.
first, and I was like, oh, oh my.
You know about those camping trips, Paul. A little too well.
I know
a little too
I know
well
a little
after.
bit more about them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. So that is a cool move. Vaguely Shiro.
Indeed. Dick Richards apparently is rocking his crossbones. Stanson 357's got his bombastic and squid.
Nice.
I don't know why I said it like that, but
It's
we're here
because
to answer voice for you.
it's the squid.
I don't think it. Well, it's a squid. I can't hate on it. It's been around forever.
Can't you? No.
I was gonna compare it to the Contigo and the Contigo yell.
How dare you, sir?
I was gonna slag on it for it, to be honest.
Ken's
feel like
got the the best tech Grampus.
Indeed.
Grumpus.
Indeed.
What's a Grampus?
Let me bring up the picture here.
It's got to be some sort of like German, like nursery, not nursery rhyme, but
Oh, you're thinking Krampus.
yeah. Okay, I'm into that.
Well, that too. That too.
Both. First one, then the other.
Well, sometimes you need a little Krampus.
It's almost got like a jig bone to that aluminum, eh? I assume it's G10.
It's G10.
G10.
Well, let's see the green. Yeah, it's G10. Man, I don't know how I feel about those little spiky hook backspacers at the back end there. I don't know about that.
Apparently, it's a pocket killer. Like it shreds a pocket, or it's just heavy in the pocket.
I don't imagine this thing's particularly heavy.
No, but I bet you that now that I'm thinking about it, that patterning in the G10 probably shreds you.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, weight is 4.96 ounces. It's not for a 3.5-inch blade. It's a little tanky, but the full steel backspacer is gonna do that for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that texture looks like it would eat up a pocket pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I don't mind a harsh pocket texture every now and again.
CPM saying that the wee Sheridan nailed the Burr custom that it was, I assume, modeled after. So that's cool.
The Shudan.
What about you two? What do you guys carry?
Sheridan. Sure, Dan.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Whatever you say, Dan.
Yeah.
That's terrible, for the record. Just absolutely terrible.
You're welcome.
No. No.
Flat out refusal. My goodness.
Do you expect anything
Take
different at this point? Yeah, exactly.
I expected to tell me what you're carrying.
I gotta go first. This is bullshit.
I can go first.
I can go first. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So
in a while.
I had a little bit of a surprise. It was Father's Day, and I am a father now. Apparently, this is a thing, and I'm having fun with it and embracing it. So for the first time ever, I got to celebrate Father's Day, And my Father's Day gift was a Rip Garage Tech
Very nice.
milled stonewash clip.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get it to zoom in on there. I have a fancier picture if Joe brought it up. I don't know.
Remember, I'm timing it for the recording, so it's up at the same time.
You're trying to time it for the recording. I've seen your timing.
I'd say it worked all right.
This time. Yeah.
So how rounded is that clip?
Oh, it's fantastic. All the rounding on it is really, really nice. So my only minor complaint is she's tied it in with a pair of jeans.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The slotty goodness is you could definitely slip it on a pair of jeans, but you get it about 2/3 of the way down, and then you have to kind of like put the rest of the jean material the rest of the way.
You go here.
Yeah. So,
at least you know it's not going to slide out unexpectedly.
Definitely not. Yeah. But yeah, super, super happy with that. Literally what I asked for, and she's like, "What? Well, why didn't you order this thing for yourself? Like you've been looking at it for years." I'm like, "I know, but the knife is so much itself, and then the clip on top, and it's just like so hard to justify because I already spent so much on the knife." And then she's like, "Okay, I get it." She does. I don't know. She gets it. It's
She's nice enough to say that she gets it.
Look, I get it.
Unfortunately, so do I.
The good news is she's probably going to have gifts of accessories for years to come on things I can't justify for myself that I've kind of wanted to mod. So any of those little pity patty things that I've wanted to mod along the way might happen because they're cool little add-in gifts that you can do, right? So
pretty wicked.
Spidey holes for everything.
Oh, a hole is not an accessory.
Yeah.
You can't accessorize a hole. Well, that's me saying, well.
The piercing or two.
Oh my.
What? I was talking like a lip piercing, dude.
I was talking about one of the Wiseman fangs. Is that what they're called? They hook onto the hole and they give you an Emerson wave?
Yeah. They hook on the hole.
They sure do.
Wouldn't you love that if you just hooked it on your pocket and it just came right off? Like it's
only if it makes it sound like an M1 brand where you pull pull it off your pocket, and the ring goes flying but the knife is open. Oh yeah. That'd be very excessive.
I'm into it.
So all right, who's next? Sons of bitches, making me go first with my surprise spoiling crap.
Surprise!
I'm carrying something somewhat similar, so I can go next. Data 5 with S90V, and here's a picture of its internals.
Yeah, you know those things. They're similar.
Yeah,
and the fact that they're both made by Spyderco.
They're both made by Spyderco. They both have opening holes. They both have relatively short blades.
They have a hole.
Yeah, they sure do.
It's completely the same.
Oh,
Joe's got his thumb all in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, slightly similar.
A slightly similar hole.
No comment, sir.
Indeed.
So I can't help but notice here, Joe, that you're missing half your handle.
It's not missing. It's right there at the bottom of the photo.
Yeah, it's right there. If anything, he's missing screws, but I'm sure they're just off camera.
Yes, off camera. They're right. I found them. It's okay.
And to Ben's comment, it's trademarked, not patented.
The patent for the Spyderco hole is so stupid. I'm in awe of it. But
that they had it, or
the fact that the fact that they got it, I was like, really, okay, fine. It was a slow day at the patent office.
Fine.
Fine, Ben. So, what made you take it apart, Joe? What the dick?
I just wanted to see how the lock bar interfaced with the tang of the blade, to be honest. I wanted to see what those angles were like.
I see.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see the guts.
Pretty much. This photo I can kind of zoom in and see. Yeah. But as I had it disassembled, I'm like, this isn't the worst photo. Click.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's some side of the gunk on your washers. Jesus.
Yeah, this was immediately after taking it apart before cleaning. It came right off. It was just a little bit of oil, I think. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Like, if you were to rotate the blade, like, towards the closed position from open, pressing on the forward part of the tang actually pushes the hooky bit, which is right above the pivot of the tang, up into the lock bar. Like, it's cool. It's cool the way that stuff works. It's nice to see it.
The hooky bit.
The hooky bit, you know.
Which hooky bit? Is it the lock
Sometimes.
bar hooky bit or the blade hooky bit?
Yes, but the hooky bit on the blade specifically, the way it kind of shaped up, it's sitting like a cup and it wants to rock that way.
Like a hook.
Yeah, cool shit. There's more than one way to make a backlock, apparently. There's other companies that do different kinds of interfaces and they result in different kinds of actions. It's neat.
All right, Paul. What are you carrying, sir?
Some Excalibur.
Mm-hmm.
Some meat in a coffee mug, because you know I'm classy like that. It's got Cadillac on it. That means it's classy.
Joe,
That's what they tell me.
can you
Yeah.
kick Paul out of the chat? It's
I could throw his photo up.
Throw it up, Joe. Throw it up.
There it is.
I'm carrying a ZT804.
Yeah, you better be.
Oh, dude, I'm getting my money's worth.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna slag on you a little bit. This thing needs to be sharpened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
got
I've.
a very nice polished edge. Don't get me wrong.
Do you know why that is?
What is that?
I've literally only ever stropped it since buying it, and it kept a decent working edge for so long. I'm like, I kind of
Okay.
want to see how long this goes.
All right, I'm impressed. I'm impressed then, because it's still got a serviceable edge on it, but it's not as sharp as I want it to be.
It's not hair popping, or at least
No.
it wasn't when I gave it to you. So I imagine it's not. It's not any better right now.
No, the only thing that I've done to it since I got it has been strop it. So
It
Even my
continues.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah,
Um,
if that's how 204p acts, I'm pretty impressed.
I'm going to resharpen it and play with it because I have pretty substantial information as far as 20 CV goes
Mhm.
and how much I like that. So I'm curious to see how well this
I
holds
forget.
up.
Do you own any M390?
I did, and then I don't anymore.
Oh, right. That was was that the MKM?
I think it was the MKM is I think the only M390 that I owned.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, ZT804. It's good. It's another one of those skinny but wide handles that I'm slowly but surely falling in love with. They're fantastic. Especially in a pocket knife. Maybe not in like a fixed blade, but
Yeah.
pocket knife, what's up?
If you're carrying it the majority of the day, thinner's better for sure.
Yeah. All day.
804 is not that thin, but yeah, it's
No.
As far as frame locks go, it's pretty thin. Not crazy thin, but what's the
I will say it's not a great back pocket carry.
no?
It doesn't hold the thin denim quite enough. It wants to shift.
No, I did notice that clip is not particularly high tension.
No.
yeah, no one wants to window washer your back pocket, man. It's no good when it's doing one of these all day long.
That's it.
It's
So I've been front carrying this and carrying my artisan in the back because that artisan is perfect as far as pocket clips go.
okay.
Yes.
On the whole debate of which pocket you should carry your knife in, you guys are monsters. For the record, back pocket carry, Jesus,
Dude, my cell phone is wide as hell. It goes in my front left. I got 2 pocket knives in my front right pocket. Where else am I going to put my other
Two
pocket knives?
pocket knives in my
I
right.
have an average size pocket and I can fit in a Spada and my cell phone in my pocket. How wide is your phone?
wide enough that it's kind of irritating to put anything else in there. Also, I don't really want to scratch my screen or my camera lenses or anything like that. It's not about that.
My Espada and my phone sit beside each other.
Well,
They don't even overlap.
That's great. I'm happy to hear it. I'm so happy for you.
You're
Oh, wow.
So, why are we here tonight? It's been 20 minutes, for God's
Nobody
sake.
knows.
It's been 20 minutes.
We're here to talk about some other knives that don't take up a lot of space in your pocket and that are actually quite thin. Kershaw recently announced / released a couple of knives. The Cargo and the Debris.
Yeah, these were announced at Blade Show, right?
Shot show?
Around. Were they shot show?
No. These were announced.
For this beginning of year.
No. Kershaw was silent beginning of year. These came out maybe about a month before Blade Show.
Ah, okay.
And then Blade Show happened.
Yes.
They're stealing that Hinderer grind, eh? That slicer.
They got the slicer grind. Yeah, they didn't even give him any credit.
Nope.
And it's on a lockback. For shame.
It's fine.
For shame.
It's fine. Don't worry.
I do like the slicer grind, though. I will say that.
Yes.
I'm into it.
So the two different sizes, I think we should probably start with comparison pictures here. Just to give you an idea. So here Dennis got us a lovely shot of the Endura, Delica, and Della family, which I do appreciate the gradient. That's quite nice. A lot of similarities here.
It's really like a Dragonfly and a Delica, isn't it? I thought at first it was like a Delica and an Endura situation, but I think it's closer to.
Well, here's a shot with a Dragonfly. And yeah, it is really close to a Dragonfly. Obviously, Dragonfly is shorter overall still, but...
Indeed.
So yeah. Dragonfly is definitely a hint smaller than the Debris, which is the smaller of the two, the Cargo being the larger of the two.
Yes.
I'm confused on the names and connotations. Aren't these supposed to be like hunting knives?
So...
Or is it just the fixed blades that were the hunting knives?
I think those are just hunting knives. If you go to the About section in Kershaw's website, they talk about it being useful for a variety of EDC tasks.
Okay. I withdraw my complaint.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, it's a pretty thin piece of steel. If you were to use this as a skinning blade, it wouldn't be the worst choice just in terms of cutting performance.
So the Cargo is kind of a nod towards an EDC. It's your cargo that you're taking. The Debris is kind of a weaker explanation on.
Well, it was made from scrap parts. What do you want to say?
I just blue screened.
Again? Oh,
yeah. You should stop doing those things.
It's less than I
can relate.
So they're saying that the blade thickness on the Debris is actually thinner, 2.2 mils versus 3.2 mils. I could have sworn the blade stocks were the same thickness.
Interesting. I don't have a picture.
Yeah, I didn't grab one of the spines side by side either. I really wish I had now, though.
I took a picture in that position, but I didn't take a picture of the blades in that position.
And to tell you the truth, that does actually make sense. Only because when you held those knives, the Cargo felt appropriately heavy duty, and the Debris felt appropriately, I don't know, small, light duty, everyday carry kind of. And I think the name Debris comes from like an accessory. It's the debris in your pocket rather the smaller stuff rather than the Cargo, the heavy duty type of I think is where they're stretching for the definition of a
Gonna
name.
say, I get it, but man, it's not a positive naming convention.
No, it just feels like they were throwing nouns around until they came up with it. They're like, I like that.
Yeah. That being said, I don't think it's necessarily the worst name. I have other problems with the knife that have nothing to do with the name. So
Okay, so before we get to problems here, there's another comparison shot, and this is for me the more important one.
yes.
And it's a comparison shot with the bug outs in particular.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Spot on.
very close in terms of blade length. Very close in terms of grip length. Yeah.
So
Three and a quarter is a bug out, right? And that's what the cargo is.
So yes, to give you an idea, I've got actually both of them up at the moment. And the normal bug out is 3.24.
Okay. So it's 0.01.
And yeah, the cargo is 3.2. Debris is 2.75 versus a 2.82 on the mini bug out. So yeah, identical, like straight up identical in size to a bug out.
And hey, they're all using plastic handles.
Even the sharpening choil is very, very similar.
So, Joe, the plastic handles, you say? You
well, okay.
Did you see the weight on the cargo and the debris?
No.
2.3 ounces for the cargo, 2 ounces on the nose for the debris. Those are very close to bug out numbers for a lockback.
Really good weight for a lockback.
Like exceptionally good. And I'm pretty sure those are full steel liners as well. Well, full. They're inset, but they're full liners. I don't think there's any skeletonization in there.
They're inset like a Delica and an Endura, kind of same idea, right?
And I'm not knocking them for not being skeletonized by them. There's not really a lot of room to do that kind of work in there, and still retain any benefit from the steel, I imagine. I'll say that they weren't bad in hand. They feel reasonable. Lots of blade to work with for what they are.
The cargo's a nice full forefinger.
Yes. Yeah.
Forefinger squeeze.
So I did have some in-hand shots.
The old in-hand shoot.
And, because it's the springtime season in Canada.
Well, hello.
You get some beautiful flowers and what bullshit. So
this is a really good picture of the texturing in the handles too, actually. Both of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 shots of the larger one kind of first finger wrapped around just to see where everything lands. And then the second shot is actually full blown in hand. With that one.
Yeah.
Full blown.
And
in hand.
Because the smaller one isn't really a full hand grip, I kind of left it in just kind of an open hand, get an idea of where it sits. Large, but apple picking, skinny fingers, that type of thing. So
I found for my hand, it fell at like a 3.5 finger grip. I could tuck the fourth one in. It was a little uncomfortable, or I could let it slide to the back.
Yeah. The whole time I was kind of holding it, I kind of felt like mini Griptilian-ish kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
Better than a mini bug out, and that might just be because it's not quite as slim. Little thicker on a handle, so I think it actually fills out a little bit better for me than a mini bug out does.
That's fair.
I found there's more grip area on the mini bug out. I think that's just because the forward sweep of the handle, like that area on the Kershaw, is further back, and on the bug out it's further forward. So you just end up with just a little bit more kind of squish room.
It's less curved too on the bug out.
Yes. I do still like the feeling of the debris in hand. It's not bad. Would I attach a lander to it to give myself a little bit more room? No.
Good.
But
you heathen! I
it
tell you,
actually it actually feels nice in a pinch grip though. That knife in particular, the cargo not quite as much, but holding it like this with your thumb up the side, it quite comfortable that way.
Just want to give a quick shout out to Brian Mooney in chat. Woo indeed.
Woo, sir. Woo.
Woo. Woo.
Everyone needs to woo every once in a while.
Sometimes you need to woo. Sometimes you feel like a woo, sometimes you don't.
Oh, what is this?
I am not a Malibu bar, sir.
Oh dear.
Too late.
Yeah, so debris and cargo. Very bug out-esque. But then on top of that, Kershaw was like, hang on a second. We've got the size of a bug out. We got the weight of a bug out. We got the Endura Delica lockback inset thingy going on. What else can we do? And they were like, oh, well, I got an idea here. We got the Buck 110 and the Buck 112, but the lightweight version, because we gotta think comparatively speaking here. What can we do that's similar to that family? That's similar. So they gave blade play in all areas. You were all wondering where I was going with that. I could tell.
No. I'm happy you went there. So if you recall my photo earlier of the lock mechanism for the native, like I was saying, there's different ways to build lockbacks. You could do it improperly, just 100%. So one thing that can happen, and does happen with lockbacks with not ideal geometry, is as you're moving the blade towards the spine, when the knife is closed, you can actually have some rocking where it actually goes backwards. And you can end up with something like this happening, where the lock will come up. And it's exaggerated here because I'm pressing the lock. Normally it doesn't happen on the native. Yeah, it's not a huge amount of movement, but it's definitely noticeable. Like if I'm to hold the blade of the cargo I noticed it on, and if I press with forward on the handle, simulating resistance in material, it makes me feel a little bit sketched out. I wouldn't be rocking it back and forth in a hurry trying to get it out of material. I'd be a little methodical, knowing that
Look,
there's some movement.
they were trying to make it as light as possible, and sometimes you get a little blade play.
Oh, I don't know if that's I don't know about that.
Well, it's not an argument for them.
When you're trying to remove material in as many ways as possible,
around the pivot is where you want to do it.
Sometimes, yeah. You gotta take it from where you can, right?
And maybe where you shouldn't, apparently, because.
So, do you think the jimping was a weight savings measure? Because I can't figure out why they put jimping on the lock bar.
Well, so, but only halfway on the lock bar, so that you could choose whether you want your thumb to be abraded by it or not. I don't know.
I was making concessions for it originally because I thought it was like a folding hunting knife, and maybe you might be slippy while you're elbow deep in a deer. But if it's an EDC knife, I reinsert myself into the fact that I hate jimping on the lock bar. I hate it. I don't like it.
Okay. They also put jimping on the tail end of the knife as well, right? Like they went not quite full spine, but they went sectional.
Yeah.
Now, I do have one picture that I was actually highlighting another point with, but we could look at it as well as far as the jimping goes.
I think I know what photo you're talking about. Let me see.
And it kind of all has the same theme.
As well.
What's that?
So I sent a picture of it as well.
No one cares about your picture.
Oh, there you go. That's a better picture.
Oh, Paul, yeah, your pictures actually do have the knives side by side. So
thickness.
Yeah, I kind of want to look at that just quick.
I knew what Joe was talking about as soon as he fucking dirted out about that. I was like, oh,
those look pretty goddamn similar, guys. I mean, don't they?
They really do, in my opinion.
Like There can't be a millimeter's worth of
Why
difference
does
between
one
those
have
two.
3 jimps and the other one have 5?
Because
Is
one's
the-
bigger than the other.
Cargo, the 3 jump knife.
The cargo's the 5.
Okay.
Because it's bigger, so it gets more, I guess.
Yeah,
But then
is the divot bigger?
Nope. It doesn't look like it.
that's an interesting choice. But then the debris makes up for it in the back end. You see.
It has substantially more jimps, larger jimps even. For how similar the front end of this knife is, it's weirder and weirder the front can go.
It's so strange that there's so many weird little different. Why? Anyway, we're getting hung up. Dennis wanted to talk about the serrations on the back end of the knife.
Indeed.
Not so much the serrations. I mean, we were talking about the jimping in particular, and the use of it. Now, I was going to talk about the deepest of deep carry clips.
Yeah.
Deep squared even.
I don't really like deep carry clips done like this. I'm gonna be honest.
So there's a knife out there, and I tried to find it earlier, and I wasn't able to find it. You guys might know, but there was a knife out there that actually had a retractable pocket clip on it.
Yep.
And I don't know if it was a 90s invention, and I don't know if it was Boker, but probably because they're the guys that probably do silly things like that.
There's a modern version. I forget who filed the patent, but it was in use by Masarin in their AM series of knives. I think the AM2 and onwards used it. I don't know if that's the knife you're thinking of, but it acts as a standoff and it kicks off of the spine. Does that sound correct?
This looked identical to what we're looking at right now, but straight up had a thing where you could go like a slide trombone type of shit on the pocket clip, and you could put it like this far down into your pocket, or you could have it like a normal person. Like
That sounds like a Blackie Collins invention.
And so it's funny that you would say that too, because I thought it was an older design, like an old 90s design. I was trying to find it something Blackie Collins, but it had, I believe, a similar handle texture to this very 90s dimpling that this cargo knife also has. On top of that as well.
Things that make you go,
Can't remember what the knife is. Might be mixing 3 different knives together in my own mind just to come up with, but I thought for sure, and I was trying to dig it out and I couldn't find. So,
we might have to revisit this in a later episode because that
beer in my eye.
Oh, well, you should get it out of your eye. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Oh,
and then the third thing that you brought up was the jimping, like along the butt end, along the mid-lock back, along kind of the front where the thumb plate goes. Also, very, very having this like reminiscent 90s feel to it, or 80s, late 80s, early 90s feel to it. So everything about this knife is just like, what can we take from every single aspect of the knife world and make our own knife and say it's the Kershaw design? Bam, here you go.
Is this the knife of all trades?
It's the knife that spans generations.
They also went back to that god-awful habit of knife makers putting the fucking thumb stud so far up into the cutting path. That kind of sucks. Access to the blade is great. Opening it is nice and easy.
Look, I can cut things in front of the thumb studs. I can also cut things behind the thumb studs.
Look, I'll give Chris Reeve a pass, but no one else gets a pass. Come on.
So if you look at those blade shapes and like the picture that you've got now, the other like one where the 2 blade shapes are together, whatever. So if you notice where that slicer grind is very similar to where those thumb studs are. So maybe thumb studs were applied pre-grinding on these blades, primary or secondary. And that's why they have the Hinderer slicer grind that they now currently have. They literally had no choice in the matter. They're like, well, the thumb studs are there. Looks like this is the grind that this knife is going to have now.
Well, I mean, these knives were made in China on contract, right? So maybe there was some sort of miscommunication about the ordering and processing. So that's possible. That's possible.
The assembly line, there was a thumb stud guy standing there after the sharpening guy going.
And he was just fucking ready. And it was his first day at the job, and he did so good at installing those blades that no one corrected him because, like, man, you know what? Jeremy's just fucking going for it today.
Standing there waiting to put thumb studs on, and all of a sudden, blades come down the pipe pre-thumb studded, and he's like, wow, shit. I'm standing in the wrong section, apparently.
Oh.
It was a drive-by thumb studding.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, he was like, fuck you, Jeremy.
Yeah, fuck you, Jeremy.
Fuck you, Jeremy.
If you're ever wondering, if your name is Jeremy, I apologize, but fuck you.
I apologize right now. Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Yep.
So the last thing that I kind of wanted to dabble on tonight is actually the picture that you have up right now. Why the hell did they give this knife 2 different blade shapes and come out in the same family?
That too.
Well, you see, it's exactly the same blade shape. It's exactly the same, except they start the reverse Tonto thing further up on the big blade than they do on the small blade.
I really want
see what I mean?
Lengths that were all the same length and grind them down.
Honestly, that's what it looks like.
But they're mill thicknesses, and Joe will nerd out on calipers on Monday. Don't you worry. You should put a pin in that hat just so we know.
Absolutely. Heck, I'll make a note.
He says that. Then no notes are made.
No. I'll make a literal
on my
note.
giant phone with a stylus built in. Maybe if you didn't have a stylus built in, you wouldn't have the phone the size of my tablet. Jesus Christ.
Probably.
CPM is saying it's the same blade shape, just stretched in CAD, and that might exactly be it too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Shocked.
Anyway, my theory is that they, had bug out blade shapes or bug out weights and bug out sizes, and that's what they were going for. And they were like, they made the debris and it's kind of a bug out shape without getting away without being a bug out shape. And they're like, hey, wait, if we just made the other one a 940 shape, then
no one will catch us.
We can also take that design.
Can I say though, honestly, even if that was the strategy they employed, I actually don't really dislike the designs for either of these knives. They're actually pretty decent.
Task appropriate. Yeah. I think, like for myself, like 3 1/4 inch blade, you could definitely tell that they want this knife to be a little more of a heavy duty knife. Whereas the debris, I think they're marketing it as almost a mini bug out, kick it in your pocket and have something cool to slice shit with, right? So
yeah. The only other thing that I really wanted to talk about aside from the blade shape, which now that you've pointed it out, it does bother me the more I look at this. Is
come up with the same family, like do something, right? Like
for me, it's
make another model called the Jetsam.
And the Folsom? I think they already have a model.
I was gonna say, like, now that you say it, yeah. What was the Folsom? What was it?
Know. It's a Kershaw design. I don't keep track.
The right answer, to be honest.
All right. I don't think we actually said that. Did we say that these guys were made with D2?
I don't think we mentioned it at all.
Okay, so so it's made with D2. It's $100 Canadian polar pair dollars for these guys, right?
Kershaw's website, $71.99 regular price.
For the
$71.99 regular price US, so $72.
All right, so 72 American for these things.
Is that the other thing that chaps your hide?
The price, yeah, for
being identical.
The identical price, yes, but the almost fucking there build quality for that price.
Okay, so they took so many cues from 1989.
They use the same machines that were in use in 89.
Fire those bad boys up. Let's get some models made here. 2022 has been slow. Let's get the old equipment out.
And it's, again, I actually kind of like these designs. And if they're going to be hardening and tempering the blades correctly at D2 for that price, it's not terrible, but with the fit and finish involved here, kind of a sloppy job, guys. Like, fuck, I this close to recommending them, but...
Okay, but brand name D2 versus Chinese manufacturer D2 is still something where we're merging that gap very slowly. I mean, there's companies like Kershaw and Benchmade that are not helping their cause. I'll give credit to CRKT because they're actually the only brand name company out there that's coming out with D2 that they're not scalping people on. They just choose to scalp people with 4116 instead. Jesus Christ. Or SK5 or hatchets for that matter. I didn't rage about the price on a goddamn hatchet from CRKT.
Yeah.
But if they didn't make it $150 American for an $80 freaking hatchet, I'd own more of them.
I don't know what you're talking about, 4116.
Anyway, I'm done ranting about CRKT.
No.
Back on a Kershaw model.
That's fair. But that being said, Civivi charges how much for G10 ball bearings, D2 liner lock knives?
Who? Sorry?
Civivi. So now I'm
sub 100. You can get a not Elementum for $80.
No, but but you can get plastic handled Civivis. Actually, I don't know if you can get plastic handled Civivis with D2 anymore. I think that might only be 14C Sandvik. Regardless, you could at one time get D2 Civivis with plastic handles for, I want to say, less than $50. So
yeah, but now they have Sun Cut. So I mean,
yeah, but even so, I don't know. It's Kershaw. If they were American made, it was exactly like they are now, except maybe better quality control, like something closer to what we see in the blurs, for instance. For $100, I'd say like, yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, sure. Plastic handles or no, that's a decent design. Good materials for what they are. Yeah, I want to really like these things, but every time I think about it, I get more hung up on the price. The design does save it to a degree, like how thin the blade stock is, at least on the small guy. Again, I'm gonna have to double check on the big guy because I'm pretty sure they're about the same. You're gonna get amazing performance out of these guys. You just will.
Hopefully.
Assuming the heat treatment is correct. But 2.2 mil stock thickness with D2 that's comes down to a decently thin edge. Yeah, that thing's gonna cut. It's gonna cut real well. Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's kind of the big hang-up. It's not the design, it's partly the execution, but more so the price.
Oh, and I mean, again, Kershaw has the following. They have the branding, they have the marketing that they can still get away with putting D2 at this level. For how long before they have to start cutting more corners, which, that pivot hole can get a little, like, is a mill really going to hurt that much as far as play goes? I mean, we can cut 3 cents a knife off. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But they got to figure out that balance, because I think right now they're used to having premium markups to go with their premium products, but there's other people that are just like, damn son, we're just going to do quantity, and we're not going to worry quite about it as much about that markup as we are just going to do quantity, and we're going to put you to shame on that.
If Kershaw's thinking about just like trying to get that premium, they're really just thinking in the short term. They're going to get passed by.
Well,
unfortunately.
Kershaw still has extremely high visibility outside of the knife world, though.
But so does Gerber. I mean,
Yeah.
And you watch them shit the bed.
Well, they're trying not to shit the bed quite as hard lately, but point.
That's all the point I'm trying to make.
Well, I mean, they made
Yeah.
a bug out last year, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
When in doubt, make a bug out.
yeah, exactly. That should be the new knife motto for
Dude,
everyone.
It
Let's make
is
shirts.
the new knife motto. Everyone's doing it. Shit,
Yeah.
CT's doing it, right? Like, come on.
We need to make that shirt.
I'll make it.
Doubt, bug out.
When in doubt, make a bug out.
Yeah.
The new knife motto, and just underneath, yeah.
We haven't touched on the omnidirectional grip. on this
Omnidirectional or
handle.
bidirectional?
Bidirectional, kind of Spyderco-esque, but much more subdued.
You know those new fidget toys, which is like the bubble popper things that you see?
No, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, we got them in the mall, dude.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Don't show him. Don't encourage him.
Oh, I'm gonna show him.
You want to hear that all day? All right.
He's gonna end up with Borat J's on his keys.
Oh,
Anyways. Yeah,
That's
no, I just
The texturing looks reminiscent of, I don't know what direction it goes in. Like,
forward and back, right? I'm pretty sure it goes towards the one end and then.
yeah. But where Spyderco is like, this part here gets this direction grip, and this part here gets this directional grip. Kershaw was like, nah, everything gets it all. And I kind of dig it.
It's not a bad solution.
Because each row is running in opposite directions, right?
And it's not particularly abrasive.
Yeah.
Like, it does provide decent levels of grip when you're actually trying to plant your thumb into it, for instance, but it's not... It didn't feel like it was shredding the shit out of my pocket.
Fisk, thanks for joining us. Woo, sir. Woo.
Whoa.
Woo.
Nothing says woo like prickly pear, pink lemonade. Let me tell you.
That, yeah.
I mean,
Hashtag basic bitch bushcrafting.
there you go. It's not the same thing as Italian bushcraft, but they're similar.
Oh, there's a big circle crossover between those two for sure.
Is the Venn diagram a circle?
No,
It's just one circle.
not quite.
Body hair. There's a difference in body hair. That's where
Body
comes
hair,
in.
dagger difference.
Yeah, the basic bitch bushcrafting. The basic bushcrafting is a completely different thing as well.
Basic
but yeah.
butch
Third-
bitches? No.
Anyway,
It's a weird calendar.
And yet, I could see there being a good market segment.
I bet you it exists.
Yeah. Yeah, that texture is not bad. Again, the design's not bad. Just, look, I'm expecting CRKT to go down this route of publishing a really good design and then either half-assing it or charging too much money. Not Kershaw. I expect to be disappointed by Kershaw on the outset, and then not be interested in it to begin with.
can you Spidey hole this knife? It would make it pretty decent.
You just take the thumb stud out, and there you've already got a full Spidey hole.
A full spot and a
Well, the
Gucci
thumb
size
stud,
hole.
the thumb stud is big enough. Yeah. So
If you're talking about reverse flicking, I tried once and nearly cut the shit out of my fingers.
Did you really?
Yeah, it partially opened and then just kind of like sat in the halfway position. I was like, no, I'm just not going to do that again. Or at least give it more
if you've
wrist.
got the
less tension.
Akuchi open enough that you can put an index finger or a pinky or
Oh,
whatever,
no.
that knife's already open.
Ikuchi, sorry. I thought you were talking about the Kershaws. No. I tried flicking the Kershaws.
Which one?
Yes.
Or both?
The near
I can
miss.
flip-
Sorry?
I could flick the debris.
Okay, because that was the one that was like okay. But
Yeah.
the larger of the two was definitely a near miss.
Yeah, I couldn't even really thumb pop the cargo terribly well.
The action.
The bigger one?
Yeah.
Really?
It didn't pop all that nicely. I wonder if you drop a little bit of mineral oil in it, it would probably be right as rain. But action out of box was not amazing. If you're gonna wheel it open,
on the pocket clip there, Fisk. You weren't here for it. You missed.
here, yeah, you can take a look at the clip a little bit closer. Fisk, that's just for you.
I'm not sure that he wants to, but
No, I don't care.
But I will say that
Joking,
extending
obviously.
beyond the butt, you can do both left-handed and right-handed. So we'll give Kershaw props because I didn't actually dabble on the fact that they actually made this
Yes.
good for beyond the butt carry for lefties too.
How weird would it have been if they made it beyond the butt for righties and a full like centimeter below for lefties?
Yeah, that'd be pretty mean-spirited.
I'm into it. Let's contact Kershaw.
Please don't. This is probably the first time Kershaw has made a knife with a plastic backspacer that I don't care that it's a plastic backspacer. Only because
no, there's other knives you don't even know about, I'm sure. Kershaw's catalog's big enough. I guarantee there's some plastic backspacers.
Oh, no. I'm not.
You don't care that those are plastic backspacers, but it's also because you probably don't care about the knife that much either.
I was gonna say, but anytime they do something with like, it's an aluminum handle. It's all pretty. Look at the pretty anno job we did. Also, don't look too closely at the plastic backspacer.
Hey, man. What are you trying to say?
That's G10. That's okay. That's okay.
It's a fancy
That's
plastic.
A different type of plastic.
That's right.
It's different, damn it. There's glass and
there's
more
a weave in that plastic, you sons of bitches.
Yeah. I just don't think the G10 is going to deform over time, whereas the plastic potentially could. I don't see it happening in this small of a knife, but
Can we talk about the like complete unfinished edges on their pocket clip?
Yeah, they're stamped and then they're bead blasted. What more do you want? Oh, they're bent too at some point, I suppose.
Ta-da!
You think there's some guy's just some sad sack of shit working the machine, and every time he pulls the lever, ta-da!
I mean,
ta-da!
That sounds like a joke I would make. Fuck you both. Just looking at me sadly.
Yeah.
Can you put Paul on mute? I don't know.
We might be able to. The only thing is, that type of like unfinished surface area, unfinished surface finish. Is that using the word finish too many times? You see it in price ranges all the way up to like $200, $300 knives, at least as far as their pocket clips go. So I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about it.
Bent pocket clip, terrible.
Yeah.
Joe, can you mute yourself?
I can, but it'll be confusing.
P.S. I'm gonna steal that. Sure.
Yeah.
So are we on to final thoughts about this thing? I don't know. Do we have much more to say?
I think I got most of my points across. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean we have to bring it to a vote?
Well, something, man. Something. You got to give it something.
I mean, I'll give it every scrap of lint in my belly button.
As of this moment or ever?
Do you have enough belly button lint to cover $72 American for it?
Today?
So what do you mean today? As if the value would increase with the quantity. Come on.
No, I just mean, the more lint you got, the more lint you got, right?
Well, I mean, if not today, what kind of accumulative time are we working with here? Like,
I don't know. What's the value of belly button lint per dollar or per gram?
That's not a Google search I'm prepared to make.
I bet you there's some girl on the internet selling it somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you walk around like cock of the walk, like your belly button's as much as valuable as hers. Come on. You can't say asking price for belly button lid is an equal curve.
If not in quality, in quantity, I surpass her.
Yeah, but you can say that about body hair too. It doesn't mean it's a good thing.
That's where the lid comes from.
Oh, I don't like the train of this conversation.
It's a collection method.
I'm telling the internet weird things about myself, and I don't know how I feel about it.
It's like shrimping. It's just the more there, it's the more it collects. It's It's like making a fish trap.
Look, I was trying to make a joke about debris, and that's as far as I'm willing to back out of this.
Dick Richards is asking, what's the blade steel? It's the D2. It's D2 on these guys.
The finest of Chinesium D2s.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
If it's up to QSP standard, I'm into it. I do like me some QSP D2. That's all I'm saying.
I see.
Somehow I think QSP
experience with Civivi's D2 to comment, but
oddly enough, neither do I. They were really well known for their D2 back in the day.
It's pretty good, but I'm working with a hologround Elementum, so that's cheating.
I got.
Wait, no, Paul, you do have D2.
Yeah, in my neck muck.
No.
Civivi.
Which Civivi do I have?
Your rustic gent.
Oh yeah,
it's hologround D2 as well, so it's also kind of cheating.
It's also fantastic. Haven't even thought about sharpening it yet. It peels labels like you wouldn't believe. It's the best fucking scraper I got.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's nothing to brag about.
How
much you pay for the best? How much did you pay for the best scraper you've got?
Under market value.
It's cool. You could have just bought a Razel.
I could have.
Should you have though? No.
They have a Razel Cliff now too. Like,
do they have a Razel Cliff in D2? That's not an exclusive. I had to add in.
I don't know,
because I think there is exclusives to Blade HQ for the Razel.
Knife Center's been getting more and more of those too lately.
Mm-hmm. Bastards.
Anyway, this knife. I don't know about belly button lint, but I feel confident in saying that all the debris from this cargo crash would be yours in exchange for these knives. That's my rating. Yeah. What can I say? I'm disappointed. I thought they were cool little pieces. I thought I'd be able to buy them.
So flaming garbage is what you're rating this. That's what I'm hearing. The debris from all the car. Yeah. That's flaming garbage is what I've heard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we find the little black box on that one? Like, is that possible?
Do you really want to listen to those screams?
Straight up, I do. How did we get to the point where these two knives were made? I'm curious. Like, it's.
I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall for the design team on this one, for sure. Guys, we need something super. Yeah, we need something super cheap and costs nothing to make, and it has to be really inexpensive for us to buy the materials for. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, those two things.
Yeah.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
It was a meeting that could have been an email.
And
just wouldn't have conveyed the same amount of urgency.
I think I am going to give this knife the ranking of all of the awards through all the generations through all of knife making, because that's what they took to make these things, and it was nothing original.
That's high praise. Ha, kitty.
Well,
it was high
more like a cat day by day.
It was high praise to the people that won those awards originally.
Yeah. You know what I mean, Joe? Less like a baby, more like a cat.
Oh, speaking of, I gotta send you an up-to-date picture of Star. Holy chonkers!
Please
do. She walked through the living room earlier, and I was like, "Holy cow! You are full-blown cat now. Hear me roar," type of thing.
Yeah. A full-on chonker.
She's not this big anymore, and I remember the this big days. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So yeah. Final thoughts. I think we summed it up. Yeah.
We're about as
Kershaw.
disappointed with these knives as Fisk is with this episode.
Well, just
Rave review on my channel.
Sorry.
Accurate.
Oh.
it's literally taking a little bit from everything and mushing it all together and coming up with this knife.
It really is kind of a funny little time capsule, though. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
There's stuff from the 80s in this knife, right? We were talking about it.
Probably the same plastic. The exact same plastic used back then.
I'm pretty sure these handle scales are from that extendable knife. They just re-sculpted them. And...
Yeah. Nothing.
What a waste of resources.
No, I just explained CPM. They reused those old scales. It's actually Kershaw being eco-conscious.
Do they reuse the
Come on. This actually bridges perfectly into the other bullshit talking point I had for tonight. So could we just briefly go into it? Because
I think we're done here.
Thank you. Because it's actually funny how closely this works. Let me bring up the link. Oh, man. Okay, so Emerson Knives, and you guys probably already know where this is going, but Emerson Knives re-released some stuff, and that's all fine, well, and good. Collectors rejoice, yada yada. However, not only did a product not just return, they used OG parts, including polymer plastic handles that were reused for the reintroduction of these knives.
Like they had leftovers and they just used them?
Yeah, that Ernie was just sitting on it, I guess, in his garage or in a warehouse or something for like how many years? It's the same original injection molded polymer handles.
How many years do you get out of those plastic handles before they start to deteriorate?
I don't know, but over 25 years.
Ask the turtles. Ask the turtles.
So this is per Knife News. Emerson Knives is celebrating 25 years in the biz with a return to their very first production knife, the Raven. The design is faithfully maintained right down to the handle. And they say in here that they actually use the original leftover, as in genuine made in 1997 scales that EKI has kept around, maybe for a special occasion just like this.
Maybe for a special occasion. And CPM, as far as the Balisong with a wave, I'll take it one further. They did kitchen knives with a wave, dude. Like, seriously.
In case you need a blade catch.
I gotta catch that blade.
Absolutely.
You're gonna
It
catch
was like
these
that.
hands.
That comes full circle to the topic earlier. You just stuff it in the hole and everything comes off, right? So,
as you do.
Yeah, so that's terrible. 1997 scales, and like you said, deterioration. Good times.
Yeah. At least it is that they do say it's FRN, so it should be relatively stable.
I have this image of like going to the back room. Me and Paul were talking, similar image, going to the back room and like opening a secret door, going down all the stairs, key code, eye retina vault, and walking in, over in a corner, opening up another door, and it's probably like, the janitor's closet where there's a cardboard box and
handles.
Yes.
Yeah. When do you have this conversation?
Well, we were talking. I'll tell you after this. I'm not going to get to it right now.
Not that kind of conversation. All right, fair enough. Anyway, that was just a stupid little aside I had tucked away for today, but it just segued so perfectly I had to bring it up.
That's completely fair. Do you have anything to talk about, Dennis?
Probably, but I haven't thought about anything off the top of my head. You?
There was something that you brought up that I have in the back of my mind to talk about if you don't talk about it.
Well, I'll take credit for it, but go ahead. Start talking. We'll see where we get.
Hey, Joe,
Yeah, yeah,
would you
Paul.
like to go to Schrade's website for me, please?
Oh, yeah. Those
Oh, yeah. I think I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
think you do.
So, because I'm actually kind of fucking excited.
things.
All
Shame on you, Joe. Shame on you.
right. Hey, you know my bar's low.
I was going to say,
You get
Joe's
excited.
ready to be heard again.
Wait, what?
And if you go to knives and then you go to Delta,
I haven't been to their website in years. What the fuck is this alpha beta delta shit?
CPM. Straight? Hell no. I know. This is how we end tonight. It's
I know.
brutal. So much for ending on a high note. That's impossible with this conversation.
this is kind of a high note.
No,
for
it's
Schrade.
not. Don't even say that.
For
Hold on.
Schrade,
What do you think is going on? All right, Paul, what's going on?
keep scrolling. You're gonna
Okay.
find some hunting knives with bright green handles. I don't know why they went with green. Seems like a really stupid choice, but
Like bright green, like neon green?
like neon green. You're gonna have to
Okay.
look more.
Oh man, I'm scrolling a lot here. This isn't what I thought it was, by the way.
So,
No?
okay, here's the thing, Paul. When you talk about excited and Schrade and blah, 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 yeah, I was excited too when Buck announced orange handled hunters with S35 VN steel for a very reasonable price and blah, blah, blah. And then I played with them.
Yeah, but these are fixed blades, and the Pursuit fixed blade is okay.
That's okay. That's
All right,
literally
Paul. What am I
that
clicking
little
on?
hint of a shrug of the shoulder that you saw right there.
Yeah.
That's how much I'm going to care about what you're talking about right here.
Oh.
That's
Sure. But
I'm looking at
where
the
else can you
drop
find
point.
an Oz 10 knife on the market for $25?
Amazon.
Actually, Oz 10.
Fuck. Oh,
It's called a kitchen knife. They're making the wave by storm.
No,
oh my god.
you son of a bitch.
Okay.
I know. I'm an asshole.
No, that was fucking
You were
funny.
the one that brought this up. You brought it up to me. You were like excited about it when you mentioned it to me.
You guys are fucking hilarious. I want you to know that.
You son of a bitch.
Oh my god. Okay.
I had time to think.
Do I think it is going to be amazing? No. But Schrade is so far down at the bottom of the pit of despair
Ooh.
that it's nice to see something where I'm like, hey, look at that. Good for you.
Okay. So, how thick are this son of a bitch on Oz 10?
I don't know. Joe left the website.
I know.
Sorry. Go back. Say.
Of course.
I got CPM on my side now, so there.
That seems unlikely.
He's not wrong. Trade is so bad. They're awful.
Okay, so what I was actually going to say was about the whole like Amazon thing and like kitchen knives and Oz 10 and VG10 making this huge wave on Amazon right now with kitchen knives in particular. Leads me to believe that there's a crap ton of Chinese manufacturers out there with a excess of Oz 10 and VG10 for kitchen knife cutlery.
I found it. Sorry.
What? Go ahead, Joe. You're excited about shit, and I'm just ranting about
Sorry.
Chinese manufacturers having an overabundance of steel.
I was confused, as per usual, but in this particular case, because the Schrade website didn't actually have the Old Timer line, but they reintroduced something. They're bringing back the Sharpfinger. They're bringing it back in polished 1095, motherfuckers, made in the States, no less. I'm actually legitimately excited about
You
this.
son of a bitch.
That's so
I'm
fucking
in.
cool. I knew you would be too.
Look at that grind too. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're not fucking around. There's actually a video up on Knife Center where it's a new products and David C. Anderson playing with a couple
Does
of these
Schrade
guys.
still have their own American factory?
Evidently, Okay, so Old Timer, I
It's
think
made
is
in the Buck
still
factory.
You saying evidently doesn't mean that I believe
well.
any of
Okay,
what you just
so
said there.
okay. So Old Timer, as far as I'm aware, is still owned by Schrade, which is still owned by not Taylor Cutlery, but by someone else now. So I think Old Timer does have their own factory. I don't think it's Schrade owned. I think it's Old Timer owned because nothing Old Timer is listed on the Schrade website anymore. I actually just quickly went through, and that's why I switched off the screen. I'm like, I don't know if it's actually going to appear here.
So Old Timer broke off like Essie and was like, "Screw you, we're making our own shit now."
Evidently, I mean, there's actually an R story section here on their website, so I wouldn't mind taking.
We can't be too excited about it. It's still that like Delrin handle.
Dude, I don't. That's awesome. Delrin's a great handle material. Come on. For a fixed blade, that's got to be a hunting knife. Come on, that's a pretty decent choice.
Doesn't mean I like it.
No, I mean I would prefer my Carter G10, but
why don't you just jig it and burn it and sell it like it's antler? Like seriously.
That does say Schrade on it though. The knife on the bottom of this website, you just scroll past it. It said Old Timer and then Schrade on the blade.
Yeah, because I think that might be an original. It's hard to say.
That's fair because I was like, I don't hate the look of that knife.
So they actually changed away the shield. The one thing I did notice was you see kind of that oval shape to the shield in between the two pins. So that's the old Timer shield. The new shield,
the old timer.
The old timer. The new Old Timer is using a button shield, so just round.
Those new Old Timers with their trends and their hashtags.
So
it's not like the old timers used to be. We hand stamped that shit, son.
Dennis, we're coming up on Old Timer status.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm getting ready with that lingo?
Yeah.
I've been ready my whole life to be an old man. Jesus Christ.
Depressing, but also no, honestly, two things that I'm kind of excited about this. One, they're going to 1095. It's just cool. They're sticking with mostly the same construction. There's a couple notable differences. But this is also part of a greater lineup from them. They're calling it their generational series family. And they have a couple others as part of that lineup that are all 1095 made in the States. And it's kind of fucking neat. It looks like they have some stuff that's not made in the States as well.
Is that a battery-powered electric knife?
Lithium-ion electric fillet knife, yep.
Okay.
And then there's a 110 volt for you to plug into a wall, I guess.
No.
Fair enough. Yeah. Now I
got my next fillet knife figured out.
It's gonna be a Sharpfinger, right?
I mean,
what are you talking about? That's my next bushcraft knife.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a new neck knife.
I don't know.
Work smarter, not harder, right? Like it's
I heard that the Sharpfingers after because my grandpa had a Sharpfinger for years and years. That was his belt knife for as long as I could remember, outside of his 110. But the 110 and the Sharpfinger were two knives that I've wanted for a long, long, long time. And after they moved the production to China, you hear enough bad things about them where it's like I'm not really interested in that. So it's cool to see that they're going to be available again. I'm super looking forward to it.
I actually own a Sharpfinger, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those crappy Chinese ones, to be honest with you.
So, you remember the part where Schrade was making new knives?
Well, they broke off.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
For the record,
I'm much more interested in this story than I am about the Schrade one.
Genuinely.
Yeah. And to be fair, in the old story, there are story section of the website. They're really shady about it. They say, founded in 1958, Old Timer created a knife, blah, blah, blah. For over 60 years now, Old Timer, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing about what they've been doing lately, which is like, yeah, we're just going to gloss over the fact that we were owned by a Chinese subsidiary for a company for how many years. So unfortunately, they're not really saying much other than it's American made.
Sometimes
they have core values.
People need gaps in their history, okay?
Long, unexplained, ominous gaps. I would be very curious to learn if they have their own factory, though, for sure. Like, it'd be, it's got to be a pretty simple factory for the most part, but
Well, as soon as you said it, I was like, they haven't been made in the US for quite a few years. So if they're back being made in the US, are they outsourcing to someone? Or does Old Timer still have some sort of old timey? Maybe Kershaw got their knives made in the same factory that Old Timers are getting their knives made. They fired up those old machines.
maybe. Could
Can
be.
you make Delrin bidirectional?
You're asking dangerous questions.
Yeah,
I think
forbidden knowledge.
I think
That's forbidden fruit right there. Yeah.
good God. Yeah. They say crafted bone handle. Where are you saying Delrin?
I just saw it look like Delrin. That's all.
Chestnut bone handles. They're
Okay.
calling it chestnut bone.
If it's chestnut bone, I am way more excited about that. I would buy the fuck
the
A bone
finest
handled-
bones of the chestnut.
I don't give a shit. A bone-handled Sharpfinger in 1095 with that polish on it? Give it to me right now.
You can make it out of walnuts. I don't care.
I wonder if it's Case making them.
Well, I want it less now.
I have no reason to think that.
Maybe it's made by Rough Rider. No, those aren't made in the US. Never mind.
1095 American. I mean, they don't have the funds to go to
GEC.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
probably
how
not.
neat would it be? I just like the idea of GEC making their electric fillet knives too, to be honest with you. Just a bunch of people scratching their heads, really confused.
Where do the rivets go?
Yeah.
Wherever you want. No, luckily
You know
those
where it
those aren't made in the States.
Luckily.
Look, that's a hazard.
But
So-
I don't hate the way that Brune looks.
The lock back there?
That
Yeah,
looks a lot like a Selkirk, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
The one that you were just
2.8
on.
inch blade.
I'm
Oh
into
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's not bad. See, if they've got the Old Timer USA stamping on one side, I really want to know what's on the other. Is it just a product number, or do they have a location outside of just USA? I want to know.
They still have just like it's in brackets and they're like Schrade.
The secret is there's no back to that knife.
Oh God.
You turn it over, there's no scale.
It's like you're native. They're just missing half the handle back there. They won't show you.
I was gonna say it's like a kiss, but they didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah. As long as somebody gets fired, that's all I care about.
It's just an open back spring and a washer. That's all you see back there.
Anyway.
That's exciting.
Anyway. All right.
Now I want to
It could be exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
And I still don't want to Schrade for the record.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know if I want it for $130 Canadian. But I want one. I like the Sharpfinger.
Well, those are the decisions that you have to make, man.
Yeah. I gotta live with them. But I also want a knife that looks like a shark. And another one looks like a brook trout. So
What do you mean wanted? Like
no, want.
Yeah. They're like
They're on order.
right
Or
now. Yeah.
As close to on order as I can get them at this moment. I need them.
All right, gentlemen. I think that rounds us out this evening.
I don't want Todd Bank Citadel. I don't know what that is, but I don't.
oh, Ben saying Smith & Wesson Holdings owns Taylor Brands, owns Schrade, plus Old Timer and Knuckle Henry. Interesting. I didn't realize Smith & Wesson Holdings, or it may be a different S&W.
No,
Holdings.
that's the same one.
Yeah. They own Taylor Brands now. Holy shit, that's a power move. because Taylor Brands owned the rights to Smith and Wesson's production line for as long as I've been into knives. When the hell did
That's
that happen? That's pretty fucking cool.
good for them getting their shit back. Didn't Michael Jackson do that with his music back in the day? I'm pretty sure he bought the rights to his own shit, and then was just like, or was it the Beatles? He bought the rights to somebody's music and was just like,
Interesting.
I wouldn't know. That's fair enough.
probably shouldn't talk about it because I have literally that bit of information and none other. So
That's totally enough to go off of. I mean,
yeah, of course. I mean, he's dead now. I mean, what's he gonna do? Sue me?
stranger things have happened.
Have they?
Them being sued by a dead man?
Oh,
not
I
that
guarantee if you look it up, that's happened for sure somewhere along the way.
Can you
It
have
sounds like something that's happened in the U.S.
can you have it written in your will that someone is like sued on your behalf?
I hope so. I'm gonna go on a rampage after I die.
I'm gonna ruin so many lives.
Oh, dude, straight up.
Oh my god.
It's time for war.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think we may have run our course.
All right, guys. It's been fun. Cargo and debris, you know. There's a fine line between what is cargo and what's just debris. And the luggage handler doesn't know the difference.
Oh, so you've flown WestJet before.
So I see. You've played Knifey Spoony before. It's yeah.
Well, it's good timing. Cat wants
I
to.
play Knifey Spoony with a spork just to fuck with people.
Well, then it's not Knifey Spoony.
Sure it is. It's
I
still
mean,
Spoony.
I've played it before, but maybe you need to like freshen up on the rules there, Paul. But
No, you can't make it.
No. All right.
you can't bring a spork to a spoon fight, dude. Like
Sure I
seriously.
can. I'll gouge your eyes out.
Can't be changing the rules. Like
Oh, I'm not changing the rules. The rules only apply to me. Nobody else is allowed to spork.
I don't think anyone really wants to spork, especially on this channel. It's
I don't know why, but spork just kind of took on a whole new meaning in my brain. I know exactly why.
I was gonna say I think you know exactly why.
Yeah, know exactly why. But yeah, I'm not gonna say what it is in my head.
That's for the best.
so gonna thank some people.
It's probably for the best.
Thanks, Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for bringing in these knives for us to play with. Kershaw's got to come up with something new for 2022, and I'm sure we'll sell some 2022 models to some people because they like Kershaw 2022 models. Better than a copper ZT. Anyway, still
Miles
better
better.
than a copper ZT.
What about a blackwash CT?
Okay, that one's a different story, but another day for another time.
Indeed.
That was kind of hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Cutting Edge, for supplying the knives for review tonight.
Indeed.
Yes.
And after we thank them, I don't know why I'm saying after them, but go follow us on Instagram, you motherfuckers. Just do it.
Okay.
Just
okay.
do it.
We will have a post about winning a Civivi riffle because we're still going to give one of those away. Eventually, this is a thing. It's kind of a cool thing. And along with that, because I had some running around to do today, and happened to remember, also giving away the torque kit that I personally own. So we're giving one of those away, probably the handiest torque kit as far as a travel kit I've ever owned. So
I just want to point out that your torque kit also has the same spinny do that mine does.
yeah, but without the stupid fidget factor, because you all can go to hell with that shit. It's meant for spinning when you're using it, not for spinning because you're Paul.
Yeah, I don't spin it when I'm not using it. It just Works great.
I thought
It's
for a
great
second
program.
you were gonna say I don't spin it when I'm not Paul. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I can
Uh.
stop spinning it at any time. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't spin it or not spin it when I'm not Paul. It hasn't come up.
So I have more questions about when you're not Paul, but that's also a different episode, I'm pretty sure. So
No, I'm keeping that one under
under your hat.
wraps.
Yeah, all right.
And lastly, thank you to all the subscribers to Patreon. There is a big thank you coming back to you guys. We might talk about that after the live stream and try to get some ducks in a row. There's ducks, there's rows. We're trying to,
Dude, we got plenty of time. December 2023.
that's like a
It
year and a half still.
Yeah, if we plan it now, by then it'll actually come.
The joke's less funny every week because we get closer and closer.
That's why it's funnier to me, if I'm being honest.
Oh, too
All
real.
right, guys. I think that pretty much rounds us out here for tonight. Thank all those who we need to thank. Thank you for all the guys who joined us tonight. Like, subscribe, share on the YouTubers. That's how we grow. Get a little bigger. Get a little bigger every time. More people watch us, Little beginning, middle, and end.
That's how we grow.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. I'm glad a hummingbird didn't land on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's how we want the claws.
Not ideal.
On that note, gentlemen, I am who I am. I'm Dennis Fibers.
I am the Iron Joe.
I'm exile.ca.
Thanks once again, guys. We'll see you next week.
And fade to black.